Sorry. Okay, so once again, good day everyone. And I hope you are all doing well, no? And welcome to our class on the legal aspect of business administration. No? Before we begin, I encourage everyone to settle in, ensure your audio is clear, and prepare to actively engage in today's discussion. This session is designed not only to deepen your legal knowledge, but to help you connect legal principles with real business situation and you may encounter as future managers and leaders. So, in behalf of our assigned presenter, no, I'll take the floor no, to discuss the nature and sources of business law. Business law exists because commerce does not happen in a vacuum. Every transaction, whether selling goods, no, hiring employees, borrowing money, or forming partnership, create rights, obligation, of course, and risk. No? Business law provides the structure that makes these activities predictable, enforceable, and fair.
Sabi na ako, kasi yan dito kasi nagkaroon yan, kapag hindi pa kami
Okay. So, without law, no, trust in the marketplace would collapse and economic activity would become chaotic, no, or chaotic and unsafe. At its core, no, the nature of business law is regulatory and protective. It regulates conduct by setting rules on what businesses may or may not do. And it protects stakeholders such as consumers, employees, investors, creditors, and even competitors. So business law ensures that profit-making activities align with social order, public interest, and ethical standards. So business law is also facilitative in nature. It does not exist merely to punish wrongdoing. It enables legitimate business growth. Laws on contracts, no, corporations, partnerships, and negotiable instrument allow businesses to plan, invest, and expand with confidence, no, knowing that agreements will be honored and disputes can be resolved fairly. Another important nature of business law is its preventive function. Clear legal rules reduce misunderstanding and conflicts no, before they arise. Let's say, for example, no, written contracts governed by law help avoid disputes about payment delivery no, or performance. So in this sense, business law acts as a form of risk management. So business law is dynamic rather than static. So as markets evolve, technologies advance, and business models change. So the law adapts. E-commerce, digital payments, data privacy, and online contracts are modern realities that have reshaped traditional legal concepts. And the nature of business law is therefore responsive to economic and technological change. In the Philippine context, no, business law reflects both local realities and global influences. So it incorporates civil law, traditions inherited from Spain, the common law principles adapted from the United States, and modern statutes aligned with international trade and investment standards. One defining feature of business law is its balance between private autonomy and state control. While parties are generally free to contract, this freedom is not absolute. So the law intervenes when agreements violate public policy, morality, or statutory prohibitions. So this balance protects weaker parties without unduly restricting enterprise. Business law is also deeply intertwined with ethics. So legal compliance is the minimum standard. So ethical conduct often goes beyond what the law strictly requires. However, many ethical failures eventually become legal issues like fraud, misinterpretation, misrepresentation, unfair competition, and abuse of corporate power are common example. So the nature of business law is also dispute-oriented. Despite preventive measures, conflicts are inevitable in commerce. Business law provides formal mechanisms, courts, arbitration, mediation to resolve disputes peacefully instead of through force or unilateral action. Importantly, business law promotes accountability. Business entities, especially corporations, enjoy legal personality and limited liability. But these privileges come with responsibility. So laws ensures that businesses cannot hide behind corporate structures to evade local obligation. Turning now to the source of business law. The primary source in business in law, no, the primary source in the Philippines is the Constitution. Although not a business statute per se, it set the fundamental framework for economic activity. Provision on due process, equal protection, national economy, and social justice directly affect business operation and regulation. So, the Civil Code of the Philippines is a major source of business law. It governs obligations in contracts, sales, agency, partnership, and damages. Almost every commercial transaction relies in civil code principles, especially the rules on consent, object, cost, and obligation arising from contracts. Let's say, for example, in many business disputes involving unpaid deliveries or breach service agreements, courts rely on civil code provisions on obligations and damages to determine liability and remedies. This shows how foundational civil law is to business practice. Now, the commercial or special laws form another crucial source. And this include laws on corporation, securities regulations, intellectual property, banking, insurance, labor relations, consumer protection, and taxation. And these statutes address specific commercial activities that require specialized rules beyond the civil code. Okay. A key example is the revised corporation code. So as business student, we need to understand and to read the revised corporation code, which governs the creation, operation, and dissolution of corporation. It defines corporate powers, duties of directors and officers, and rules on shareholders' rights. And many corporate disputes hinge on violations of fiduciary duties defined under this law. The labor code is also a significant source of business law. While often seen as employment law, it directly affects business costs, operations, and management decisions. Issues like illegal dismissal of employee, labor standards, and collective bargaining frequently result in litigation that impacts business continuity. Another source is administrative regulation issued by government agencies such as the Security and Exchange Commission, Bureau of Internal Revenue, Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, and Department of Trade and Industry. These rules provide detailed guidance on compliance and enforcement. Administrative regulations are particularly important because they operationalize statutes. No? Let's say, for example, tax laws are broad, but BIR regulation explain how businesses should compute, file, and pay taxes. So failure to follow these rules can lead to penalties even if there was no evade taxes or even if there was no intent to evade taxes. No? Judicial decisions or jurisprudence are another vital source of business law. Court rulings interpret statutes, clarify ambiguities, and establish legal doctrines that guide future cases. In practice in our country, lawyers and business owners rely heavily on decided cases to assess legal risk. A classic Philippine example in this case involving piercing the corporate veil, no? Where courts ruled that corporate personality may be disregarded when used to commit fraud or evade obligation. And this doctrine warns business owners that incorporation is not a license for abuse. No? So in several Supreme Court cases, corporations were held personally liable when they used the corporate structure to avoid paying employee or creditors. And these rulings have real consequences for business decision making and governance. Custom and usage in commerce also serve as supplementary sources of business law. No? When the law or contract is silent, established business practices may be considered, provided they are not contrary to law or public policy. This reflects the practical nature of commercial dealings. Let's say, for example, the standard trade practices in industries such as shipping, construction, or banking are often recognized by courts when resolving disputes. This shows, or this show, or this shows how businesses or business realities influence legal interpretation. International law and treaties are increasingly important sources, especially in trade and investment. Agreements on intellectual property, trade liberalization, and dispute resolution affect local businesses engaged in cross-border transaction. Businesses involved in importation, exportation, or foreign partnership must comply not only with local laws, but also with international commitments undertaken by the Philippines. So this adds another layer of legal responsibility. Equity and principle of justice also plays a role of supplementary sources. The court may apply fairness when strict application of the law would lead to unjust result. So this human element ensures that business law does not become purely mechanical or oppressive. So a practical illustration can be seen in contract dispute where one party clearly abused superior bargaining power. Even if a contract exists, courts may invalidate unfair provision to protect equity and good faith. Business law draws from public policy consideration. So laws on consumer protection, competition, and environmental compliance exist to prevent business practices that harm society. Profit cannot justify conduct that endangers public welfare. So a real example is consumer protection cases where companies were penalized, no, for misleading advertisement or defective products. And these cases reinforce the idea that business freedom is limited by social responsibility. In recent year, no, 2012, data privacy and cybersecurity laws have become significant sources of business law. No? Companies handling personal data are now legally required to implement safeguards, reflecting and the evolving nature of commerce in the digital age. Failure to comply with these laws has led to investigation and penalties, demonstrating that business law adapts to new risks and technologies. So, the nature of business law is integrative. No? It brings together legal rules, ethical standards, economic objectives, and social values. It does not exist merely to constrain business, but to ensure that commerce contributes positively to society. For business professional, understanding the nature and sources of business law is not optional. It is the practical necessity for decision making, risk management, leadership, and sustainability. In real business life, legal problems rarely announce themselves clearly. They appear as unpaid invoices, labor complaints, regulatory notices, or partnership conflicts. Knowledge of business law helps leaders respond wisely rather than react impulsively. No? Business law is both a shield and a compass. It protects businesses from uncertainty and guides them toward lawful, ethical, and sustainable growth. Knowing its nature and sources empower business leaders to operate confidently in a complex legal environment where every decision has legal consequences, whether recognized or not. Okay, so before I end, I just want to give you an example on an actual Philippine cases related to the nature and sources of business law. So, People versus Goso or GR number 36490. This case illustrates that business activities are subject to police power of state. Goso was engaged in a commercial activity that violated regulatory law. So the Supreme Court ruled that business freedom is not absolute and must yield to public welfare and regulatory statutes. So what will be the result? The court upheld the government authority to regulate business for public interest. Huh? About the Francisco versus Chemical Bulk Carriers Inc., GR number 193577. This case involved contractual obligation between parties engaged in business. The issue was whether failure to perform contractual duties constituted a breach. What will be the result? The Supreme Court ruled that contract have the force of law between parties, emphasizing the civil code as primary source of business law. So the erring party was held liable for damages. Another case is Pilipinas Shell Petroleum Corporation versus John Boardman Ltd. or Limited, GR number 156791. This case involved a commercial distribution agreement and the interpretation of contractual obligation. What will be the result? The court ruled that when contract terms are clear, courts must enforce them as written. Shell has held bound by its contractual commitments, reinforcing the importance of contracts in business. Another is Lim versus Court of Appeals, GR number 85781. This is a landmark case on forcing the corporate bail. The corporation was used to evade obligations and commit wrongdoing. So the result, the Supreme Court first that corporate bail and held the individuals personally liable, ruling and corporate personality cannot be used to defeat public convenience or justify wrongdoing. Another is Concept Builders Inc. versus NLRC, GR number 108734. A construction company attempted to avoid labor liabilities by using multiple corporate entities. What will be the result? The court ruled that the corporation were mere alter egos and held the officers personally liable. This reinforced that business law protects workers against abusive corporate practices. We have, of course, ABS-CBN Broadcasting Corp versus Court of Appeals, GR number 128690. The case involved copyright and intellectual property, a vital area of business law. What will be the result? The court ruled in favor of ABS-CBN, affirming that intellectual creation are protected under law and unauthorized use constitute infringement. Okay? So, we have a lot of cases actually. Let's say, related to trademark, no? The Del Monte Philippines Incorporated versus Court of Law, a trademark infringement case involving unfair competitions. So the court ruled in favor of Del Monte, affirming the protection of business goodwill and trademarks. No? So these cases, no, clearly shows that business law in the Philippines is not theoretical. No? It is actively enforced by courts to regulate contracts, protect workers and consumers, discipline corporations, and uphold affairs, or maybe not maybe it uphold no fairness in commerce. No, so the Supreme Court consistently emphasized no that business exists not only for profit but within the bounds of law, ethics, and social responsibility. Okay, so I just want to give more emphasis actually with the law, with the case. Now, let's say for example, no, as what I have mentioned about the Lim versus Court of Appeals, no, the GR number 85781. Let's say, so ang nature nun is corporate law, piercing the corporate bill, no. Ang facts niya, the petitioner used a corporation as a shield to avoid personal liability for obligation incurred in business transactions. So creditors were left unpaid while the owners claim limited liability. So what will be the issue? It can the corporate bail be pierced to hold stockholders personally liable? So the ruling again, yes, the court ruled that the corporation was used to defeat public convenience and justify wrongdoing. The veil of corporate fiction was pierced, no? So for I have mentioned already a while ago, no, about the uh ABS-CBN, no, versus Court of Appeal. So the nature is intellectual property as business law, no? So the facts, no, ABS-CBN you sued, no, for unauthorized use of its broadcast materials. So what will be the issue? Are intellectual creations protected as business asset? Then the ruling, yes, authorized use constituted infringement. So, so take note, it means to say that intellectual property is valuable business resource protected by law. So about the Del Monte Philippines, no, versus Court of Appeals, the issue is trademark and unfair competition. What will be the facts? No, another company used confusingly similar packaging to Del Monte products. So what will be the issue? The similarity does mislead consumer amount to unfair competition. The answer is yes. So the infringer was held liable. So therefore, business law protects goodwill, branding, and fair competition. How about the Philippine National Bank versus Court of Appeals? It is about banking law and obligations. So facts, borrowers question the enforcement of loan and foreclosed agreements. So what will be the issue? Can bank strictly enforce contracts? The ruling in result, yes, but subject to fairness and due process. So therefore, bank must exercise higher diligence because of public trust. Okay? So I think that's it. So these cases show that business law is not anti-business, no? It is pro-order, pro-fairness, and pro-sustainability. The law allows profit but not abuse. So every business decision, whether contractual, managerial, or strategic, carries legal consequences knowing the law is not just compliance. It is a leadership. Okay? So I think that's it for chapter 1.